this is Nikki, and I'm here to share messages I get from Spirit for all of us all on this journey to love and to reunite with our divine vibrational matches in this lifetime. And so I've just done a quick reading using the Art of Love Tarot, the Moonology deck, and also a sacred geometry guidance. So the message is, so basically the two cards that I pulled from the Art of Love Tarot were basically asking what do we need to know around what's happening today, right? Today for your reunion, if you're coming back or if you're on this twin flame journey. And so the message of today is around basically the Five of Stars, which is the Five of Wands. So it is about kind of battling the mind, battling the spiritual versus the physical, really, because the wands are all about your spiritual truth and your spirituality. And we have to marry the physical and the spiritual. And the revolution or the turnaround is the Hangman. So it is, again, being able to see from an upside down perspective. And with that then comes the guidance from the Moonology deck for the divine counterpart, and it is the answers you need are coming. Hang on in there. If you notice that, it is also Gemini, the twins. So the answers for what they need to know about their lives and how they can do and all that stuff, it's coming, In the same way for us, the guidance is to hold our vision. Hold a vision of the life that you want for yourself. Hold a vision to know that powerful change is coming, because this is guidance for the overall reunion, and that is that powerful change is on its way. And the sacred geometry was about transition. So being in a transition phase, every day we're transitioning to a higher version of yourself. You're not the same as you were today as you were yesterday, so it is about honoring and nurturing that. So expect powerful change, and the message is, if you want affirmation that you can achieve your dreams and get the desired outcome in the situation you're asking about, this is it. This is a card of beginnings, and there are powerful energies at work, but be prepared. It could be quite a ride, and events now could even be jarring and uncomfortable. However, any new directions you take will almost always lead somewhere better than where you were or are at the moment. Whatever is happening now is happening for a reason you'll appreciate later on. A new portal is opening up, and all you have to do is have the courage to forget about the past and move through it. You're being put back on the right path, and there is nothing to fear. The new moon eclipses are among the most exciting astrological events, and they herald a complete change of pace. It's as though you're headed in one direction, probably being guided by your ego, and then here comes the divine, the goddess or spirit, to turn you instead to face the direction you actually need to go, regardless of whether or not there's a new moon eclipse happening when you pull this card. It's a powerful affirmation of positive turnaround. So, positive turnaround. So the message is, if you're feeling in this hangman space, basically being hung upside down, then it's a time to hold the vision of the life that you want for yourself. For the divine counterpart, it's about that inner struggle, right? But it's saying, don't worry, the answers are coming for you. And then sacred geometry for the overall union is 43, which is also love you. So it is really lovely because it's saying be gentle to yourself during this time of transition. So transition can be described as the passage from one stage to another, however deeply or mildly it impacts our lives. Transition always implies change of some sort, and most of us are afraid of change. We want things to stay the same, and we want to stay in the comfort zone we've created. Unfortunately, change is the one certainty in life that we can all count on. Change is necessary to allow room for the new to emerge and the old to pass. Change is necessary for growth to occur. Change is a fundamental universal law. Transition describes this process of change, a time when things are moving, morphing and shifting, and in the midst of this process, it's common for nothing to feel clear, comfortable or safe. Being pushed and pulled from our existing state into one that is unfamiliar isn't easy, and the most feared transition of all is one we all face eventually, into death. And this is so much about what this is, right? It's a transition of death of the old self into the new, death of the old life into the new life. And that comes with challenges. So the transition of one world to another, because we have so little understanding of the true nature of our existence and of our connection to the cosmos, we tend to fear death as a perceived ending. As in this activation, the snake is a traditional symbol for death and transition in many cultures and belief systems due to its perceived ability to be reborn many times during its lifetime by shedding its skin. Behind it, the background shows not only the grid of the flower of life and the connection with the earth plane, but also the Merkaba, a reference to our existential ability to traverse between layers of time and dimension. The colours indigo, violet and magenta are indications of our deep spiritual connection to the cosmos and the whole of existence, making any transition but a moment in an ongoing infinite journey. So the messages: take a look at the transition image. How do you flow with the transitions in your life, and what transitions are you afraid of? Look at the last transition that you went through and remember the gifts that came because of it. What will your next transition be? Go outside and see how nature goes through a constant cycle of death and rebirth in order to continue life, and celebrate your transitions. So it is basically to say the answers are all coming, to hold the vision of the future that you want for yourself, to expect powerful change, and to know that at that time, during that phase of transition, it is all about being kind to yourself. All right, I hope that helps. Take care. Bye.